meets diversity 24/7.
Yeah, you already know what's going on. This is your boy StewMichaels back again with another episode of Let's Talk, Not Argue. We're gonna give an applause for that one. What's going on, everybody, man? Hey, I appreciate you guys for tuning in each and every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Let's Talk, Not Argue. I'm your host, StewMichaels, and the topic for today, for the ones who follow my social media, you all know that we're talking about money matters here, and we got a lot of questions. And for the ones that do not follow, you can follow me on all social media platforms. That's StewMichaels, StewMichaels. And you can get tuned in each and every Monday from the topics and what we got going on. So for the new ones that are not familiar with Let's Talk, Not Argue, Let's Talk, Not Argue is a safe place, which means it's an adult conversation. So if you got any kids around, you can go ahead and put them to bed. But this is an adult conversation where we talk all things sex, love, and relationships. Why? Because we need to increase the conversation amongst friends, families, and relationships, and our peers. So, with that being said, I've had many conversations with these two individuals that are on the show today, and which brought me to, invite them here for this topic of money matters. I'll just let them introduce themselves. I got Michelina and Jay in the building. So, Michelina, we'll start from you. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Let them know, what you do, and a little bit about yourself. Not too much, though. Just a little bit.
All right. Just a little snapshot. So I'm Michelina, born and raised in Atlanta, Gwinnett County.
Hey, north side. Stupid north.
I am in the process of starting a juice business at the moment, and I also do IT recruiting consulting.
Okay. All right.
Can I get the little clap, people, for my introduction?
No.
No,
You got that? My name is Jonathan Allen, aka Jay Allen. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a few businesses. One that y'all will know is Clutch Clothing, clutchthebrand.com. Go peep that out real quick.
Thanks.
I just dropped my life coaching platform today, so check out adversitylife.com.
Oh, it dropped!
Yeah, it dropped.
Hey, yo!
I did it on your radio station.
Word.
And yeah, that's it. Mr. Cool Kid from the block, from the DMV. How are you feeling?
Facts. Yeah, y'all gonna hear that DMV accent, bro. I swear. But nah, so the background, and for the ones, man, the topic for today is money matters. Money matters. Now, there's a lot of different things relating to money that affects relationships on the positive and the negative. So I wanted to just have a conversation about it, because Let's Talk, Not Argue is more so conversation based, and we just gonna, just vibe off of each other. That's really what we do. You know what I'm saying? So I guess to preface everything, both of you, what do you look for in a relationship? Like first of all, are you guys single?
Like a dollar bill.
Facts.
Likewise.
Okay, cool. So, what do you guys look for in a relationship? We'll start with you, Mick.
Ladies always first.
Facts.
We're gentlemen.
Right. How you?
I think the biggest thing for me is consistency and communication, because I feel like, growing up or whatever, that's just something that I wasn't really good at, being consistent and communicative with others, and that's something that I'm working on. So I need somebody that really has a good grip on that and is able to be consistent with me, and also be that, accountability partner to say, hey, look, Mick, you're not staying on task with this, you're not being consistent with this. And it's not just the relationship part of it, it's throughout my life as well. And I like to be, their accountability partner as well. And communication is huge. I feel like, again, that's just something that's lacking now. And in my life, I've been a troubled communicator, or hard at communicating my thoughts and feelings. So, it really helps me to have somebody that's a really good communicator, so that I am better able to, to express my thoughts, my feelings, and communicate to my significant other. but those are the most important. There's several other things, but really those are like the intangibles that I really, really need and put first in a relationship.
Okay. So, Mr. John, what's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely roll with the communication. Number one. Without that, nothing else really matters. You know, as a good brother of ours says, honesty creates conversation.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So if I'm going through something with my partner, and let's say she speaks out, but I didn't know, that communication lets me know, now I can do better because I'm aware of it now. That's number one. Number two is respect. I feel like a lot of relationships don't come with respect first. They don't respect their partners. And then three, variety. Have to have more than one layer for me at least.
I was about to say variety.
Yeah.
More than one woman?
No. I had to clear that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to clear that up.
All right.
Variety. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not just I go to work. Y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? I'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not just I go to work, pay some bills. Here's the weekend. We do this all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a variety of just life, experience, mental, fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the ones that weren't, because I got a little notification here that they couldn't hear, so let me go ahead and bring that back. Of course, you are listening to Let's Talk Not Argue on 106liveradio.com, and the topic for today is Money Matters. We got Michelina and we got John. You doing my John, Jay? What's up? Mr. And I thank you. What's up?
Champagne John.
Right.
I got millions of names.
Right. We got Michelina and Jay in the building,
Today
man.
we got Jay. We gonna roll with Jay today.
Yeah. We got Michelina and Jay in the building, man. They rocking out with us and talking about money matters. So we just heard what they look for in a relationship, which they kind of gave, their perspective on what it was. But money was not in there. So I really want to know, is money, is that something that you look for in a relationship as far as whoever you're pursuing, if they have money or if they don't? Is that something that you're looking for? Because we don't know if you lie. But just let us know.
Why'd you look at me like that?
I'm just saying, I'm giving y'all some I'm giving y'all hints not to lie on my show. So, do you or do you not look for a man or a woman to have money, whether it's their own money or money, when you're dating them?
For me, because
crickets over there.
All right, it's like you still thinking.
Relax.
For sure, I look for Oprah, but of course that's not rare. So, or it is rare that you find an Oprah. Do you have to have your own money? For sure. If we're talking an age bracket from 30 on up, yeah, I believe so. Do you have to have your own house and all that? No, you have your own spot. You have your own whip. I think by that time, yes, you should have your own of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because then there's a dependency that has to come in place. Hey, first week we just started dating. Hey, can you take me to work? You live on the other side of town, so I don't know how this is gonna happen. Yo, can I borrow your car? Nah, we good, love, enjoy.
Right.
So I do believe it's important to have your own. Do you have to be rich with it, wealthy wise? No. I think we're all on that path. So it's not as important, but it is important. In my opinion.
All right, Michelina, we gave you enough time now.
Enough time to come up with a lie.
Right, exactly.
Oh, this is not a lie. Come on.
All right.
It's not necessarily what I'm looking for first thing when I meet a man. But I definitely need somebody that's secure in their own. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to be rich. But I need you to have your own, like John said, to have your own and to be secure. I've been in situations where people aren't so secure, and it's not fun. I've been there, done that. So my 32-year-old self now, yeah, I need somebody that is financially secure.
So she straight up, she said it.
I didn't lie.
Because at the beginning you was buttering us up, and I was like, Here we go. She about to sugarcoat.
It's called a shit sandwich.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. Got you.
It's the good, the bad, then kind of good if you have them.
See, hey fellas, be aware of the shit sandwich, please.
Be aware.
Be aware.
I mean,
because they out here.
I got a lunch bag full of them. I'm kidding.
Be aware, fellas. Be aware. So I hear it, but it's different when you're speaking on whoever you're dating amongst your peers.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may be polite in front of them, you know, but you're going to tell that one friend or you're going to tell that closest person to you, girl, he got money, or you can be like, man, she ain't got no car, but she got a fat ass though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you going to say some things like that, and it's going to end. So that's why I really want to like keep it real. So has there ever been a situation where you've dealt with ooh, I don't know what that is.
Is that your bling?
No, that ain't my bling. So, is there ever a situation that you've been in where you dated somebody, let's just say they didn't have money, and you kept it cordial in the beginning, but you like dogged them out to your friends?
John?
Quit.
I'm thinking. I don't think. I gotta go. Can I use a lifeline in this conversation?
Like, for me, I wouldn't necessarily say I dogged the person out, but I was definitely like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like,
I'm tired of picking up the check.
I'm tired of it. You know, like it was never like, oh, he's nothing or whatever. And I was just tired of it. Put it that way.
You're just too broke.
We want answers in
right.
here, man. Look,
no,
we're not trying to argue, but we got to be honest with the conversation.
Facts. Let's talk, not argue.
Let's talk.
Wow.
That's what we're here to do. What was he doing?
Go ahead, sugarcoat.
I'll sugarcoat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sugarcoat just because. They were in the music industry.
Okay. One of those.
And yeah,
Okay.
and it's difficult to you know, of course you're working and you're trying to find your way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's difficult to be the person that's always giving out and putting out financially, for the most part. When it came to that, emotionally, that person was there. I can't lie and say that, but financially, it's like.
That reminds me, I was watching Acrimony a couple weeks ago. Sound like that.
For the first time?
No, not for the first time. But it was like through Hulu. I was like, let me watch the journey again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that kind of sounds like that situation.
I've never.
Oh well.
Oh,
you might want to.
Yeah.
You might want to.
Get up on that.
Yeah, but so is it? So are you taking a risk by saying? So what if that person, they were there emotionally, but they just weren't there financially? So that was a no-go for you.
That's your deal breaker.
At that time, yes, it was.
But I mean, you said now. You said 13-year-old self
now I'm not going to deal with anybody that's there for me emotionally and is not financially
stable.
I'm not.
So what if they have those two and then they lack communication?
Can I pick two? Is this a you pick two?
No. No, it's not the game.
That's difficult, you know. I think I'd much rather. That's hard. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That's hard.
I mean, but yeah, that's a relationship.
I don't think I've dealt with a broke woman before, financially. Everyone comes.
Why is that?
Not pick them. But nah, I don't know. I know people's situations at times. You know, let's say we go on a date or what have you, that first date. Let's say I seen the bill come to like $200 plus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to pull a card out. It's like, nah, I got it. It's like, you sure? Because it's like, know your situation. It's like, nah, I got it. It's like, okay. So, I mean.
They out here trying to impress.
They trying to impress.
So, about to eat oodles and noodles for the whole week. Trying to impress you.
For no reason.
Who is you? That's the real question. Why are they paying that $200 bill, bro? What they trying to get, John? Huh?
Virginity.
Says the born again virgin today. All right. Okay. So, speaking about like marriage, so are you all looking? Is that something in your foresight as far as, because you guys are single right now? Do you see marriage?
Yeah, I have two beautiful people I follow, Love and Stew. They give me hope. So you know what I'm saying. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, I got hope. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
When I seen the invitation come to me, I was like, oh, this made me want to get married right here. It's like my little wedding photos.
Yo.
No, I'm looking for it. Not rushing it, but looking for it. Yeah. Pops always said don't ever rush it.
Facts.
It's fun to be in.
Yeah.
But don't rush it. So.
I definitely want to get married, but I'm not in no way rushing to get married.
So, when you say not rushing, is that because, like, does your insight on marriage have anything to do with what you saw growing up? Because I know mine did, or mine does.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, reality still kicks into a society a little bit.
Yeah, because it
just
changes.
A little bit.
Yeah, because times change.
You know, so it's like you see, if your parents been married for like 35 years and plus, what have you, and then you see society and the angle that that's reaching right now, and it's like, well, I want this, but then society is kind of moving. I gotta kind of maneuver the right way to make this work, but tradition still holds for some people. And so, like for me, my parents, that's love to me.
So for everyone else who does not know your parents, like explain that dynamic of what you grew up.
I grew up in a household where a father who really loved his wife, gave her the time to heal, to build, to handle anything, but he was always there to help out too. You know what I'm saying? He's been a mentor, he's been a teacher. He's taught her so much, and in the long term, he's learned so much from her too. Their spirits are just beautiful. They're always willing to help. They're always willing to put their hearts on the line. Of course, God first. My parents are pastors too, by the way. Community outreach. Yeah, PK from birth. They just, I don't know, they just fun to be around. There's never a dull moment with them, like ever. I don't see too many people come across them, rather they my friends, strangers, and just be like, oh, I don't know about them. It's like, nah, I love them. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know, they demand the room without even demanding it. They walk in, it's like, oh, there they go. That's love. That's power.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So.
Okay. Megalina?
I mean, for me, neither of my parents married at all. So, well, give me a second. Let me put this down. My dad is married, but my mother and my father never got married. So I never really got to see that, that relationship growing up, and not to that extent at all. So for me, rushing into marriage or getting married is a huge deal. So it's definitely not something that I want to rush into. Yeah, I want to do it. But there's a lot of drawback and a lot of hesitation on my part when finding the ideal partner or somebody that I want to make that lifelong partnership with.
So what do you say, like, that ideal person? So you're looking for like someone to all your checklists?
I wouldn't say all my checklist It's really just somebody that I'm vibing with on every level within my life. So that's mentally, spiritually, emotionally, hopefully financially. But I want to be able to be on that same level and that same wavelength with that person. And that's really my idea. You don't have to check off every single box, but you got to meet. I feel like there's not a requirement. I'm at a loss for words, but there's like a standard. And my standard is you have to meet my mental, spiritual, emotional, hopefully financial needs as well.
Any sexual needs?
Isn't that mental, physical, emotional? Doesn't all wrap up?
Oh, hey, I don't know. You gotta ask sometimes, man. You gotta ask, because there's a lot of women out here in Atlanta who say You know, they deal with a lot because the D is good. So that's why I asked. That's why I gotta ask, because if you're giving that good D,
that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. Look, no, I'm not even.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. We'll talk about that off air. But so there was an article on CNBC that said that there has been a surprising increase in divorces when your spouse makes money like within the marriage. Like the spike is within the marriage. So maybe you guys are two blue collar, and all of a sudden now somebody makes a substantial amount of money, and now the household income increases by a lot, and then now you get the I'm out. So they were shooting with you in the gym, but and then when they got their money, they're shooting out. So what is it? Because if you both of you said that, you know, you kind of wanted them to be financially stable on their own when you met, so that's how you guys got together. But in that situation, like, what are your thoughts on it? Because me, I was like, that's kind of messed up. Because, you know, there's the one that was shooting with you in the gym, and then now you make it big, and now you just treat them like dirt, and you go out, you know?
I feel like if you was with me shooting in the gym, you never stop shooting.
Right.
You know, you never stop practicing with me. You know what I'm saying? If we take this from a hoop perspective,
Facts.
right? If the goal is to win a championship ring, even if you ride the bench, you still in practice. Right. You still shooting. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there is just no layback. There is no chill time. There is none of that. It's like, look, I'm working, you working. Or if I'm grinding, you grinding. Or we doing this together.
Right.
We doing everything together for real, to be sure. But it's like there is no, if you need a few days off, cool. Take a few days off. Need a week, relax, come back. I'm going to do the same thing. But we ain't this together.
Right.
A week? Boy, you be gone for months, boy, traveling. What you talking about?
We're talking about relationship junk, though. It's different. It's different. I might be gone for 4 days and come back. Never know. Never know.
And you, Megalene?
I mean, yeah, I'm on the same page with John. Jay. What are you going by today?
John J. Jacob Hunter Smith. That's what it is.
I don't like I know you. Like
we off topic.
Boy.
Yeah.
Thought about it.
Right. But no.
No, I'm on the same page. You know, I mean, we grinding together regardless. And that's why I say I want you to be financially stable, because I'm for sure not going to go into a relationship knowing I'm not financially secure.
So what if you guys like genuinely mesh and the love is there? Is it really is it really all that it is? Like it's back to money now. Oh boy, the quiet boy. Hey boy, if y'all was in here and y'all see these blank stares.
I thought she was about to pull up the answer. Does it boil back to money?
As a millennial.
Does it boil back to money?
You know, I'm going to say this because this is how I really feel. I think the money and the emotional part, when you're having a partnership, it should be treated as two separate things.
Okay.
Just like with any other partnership. In business, in business anyway, you have the emotional part of it. Yeah, I'm messing with you, or we're doing this partnership because I like the way you move, I like the way you do things. But we also are going to sign a contractual agreement.
Those are flags that you look at, right? You know what I'm saying?
But you got that new outfit last week.
You know, right? But you went out to the club, or you went to that concert, so it's like you start to pay attention to little things. So priorities.
Right, like
I think that also shows finances
for sure.
Without having to have the conversation. If I'm not saying you can't live in an apartment and have like a nice car and then go buy like the $5,000 purse or whatever.
Yeah, but at the same time,
in
it's
theory,
like if you dealing with that person in the long run and you see them renting an apartment and you driving a Porsche, baby, our future, you ain't thinking about our future, because our future is not necessarily us and the tangibles right here. our kids. And if we get married, hopefully we have kids. So I hope you're not out here buying Gucci Louis product. And
we X'd out Gucci. We ain't buying Gucci no more.
No Gucci. Oh, none of that. Or Prada, right?
Oh, yeah, some. Yeah, I ain't buying none of that.
Support black businesses, clutchthebrand.com.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I'm not buying it regardless. But, yeah.
No,
you for sure.
That's dope, man. And you said something real key. You said contractual agreement, which we will come back right after this commercial break, because that is one heated topic that I posted on social media, and a lot of people had something to say. So when we get back, we will be talking more Money Matters. Go ahead and download the 106 Live Radio app, where excitement meets diversity 24/7. This is your boy StewMichaels. Let's talk, not argue. All right, welcome back to Let's Talk, Not Argue, where we're talking about Money Matters, and we got Michelina and Jay in the building, man. Look, all this woo. We got Jay and Michelina in the building, man, and we talking about Money Matters. All right, so I posted an interesting post on my social media, and I got a lot of response. But what I really, before we get into that, because we're gonna talk about prenups, we're gonna talk about all that stuff, because clearly prenups is a cuss word to a lot of people. So let's go with the old school. Like, what is the old school? What is your version of what they had to deal with, or what your parents had to deal with financially? Like, times are of course different. So if John, you said John, whatever, you said that that your parents, that's what, 35 years of marriage right there, right?
Yeah.
So
come November.
Right. So financially, like, what does that look like for the common person that's listening? Is it, because are you transparent at the beginning, while you're dating?
I think the first conversation that has to be in consideration to this is, and this is something I always give, like, props to my parents, that I feel like a lot of other peers of mine, parents didn't do, so to speak. Their parents wasn't financially stable. So they made a sole decision not to be like that, right? So they learned financial literacy. They learned to go be debt free. They read books. They took classes. My father ended up, and his brothers ended up getting into a program for the government one year, and I mean, life changed. Like it literally went from like this to this in like a snap of a finger. But now you got so much money coming in that now we have to learn how to live. I remember it was once upon a time I had to been like 9, I think, and they was like, "Yo, we're not celebrating Christmas no more because financially we don't have it."
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was a real conversation. Like, we don't have it, and I understood that though. Like, you realize you're blessed, you get stuff throughout the year, but I think maybe late 20s, they finally got to a point like, we can finally really do this, and they're fine with it. So they built to a place now where they debt free. You know what I'm saying? For a minute, 2 houses paid off, cars pretty much paid off. So I mean, it's a stepping stone, but you have to stay on top of it. Whether you're reading books, whether you're going to conferences, whether you're creating a financial plan for your family. I think a lot of families don't do that. I think a lot of marriages don't do that. I don't think a lot of couples do that, because a lot of singles themselves don't do that. So it's like, how can we as a couple do this if you can't even do this for yourself? Can it be introduced? For sure, but there's still application. And then from the application, if that person decides they want to go with it, then we got something. If not, we got nothing to talk about. Really. So that's what that looks like.
So what is that? Like, setting out a fine, like, are y'all doing that as dating? Like, are y'all, or are you doing it individually? And then, because for the listeners that are single and they hear this, you said, setting up things financially for the family. Like, was that being done? Did you see that being done within the marriage, or did you ask the question of, what was it like beforehand?
Yeah. By the time I was here, they was married, and so I think prior, my dad pretty much at the time was just running everything. And then it got to the point where mom was running the bills. She's good at it.
Word, okay.
Like, Pops is good at saying no, too. You know,
yeah.
Even to wife. She still gets it, but sometimes it's like, no. Yeah. Like, beginning of the year, hopefully they don't mind me saying this, but in the beginning of the year, like the first 3 months, 4 months, they don't go out to eat. They don't travel. They don't spend unnecessary money. They stay in. They cook. You know what I'm saying? They save money.
Wow.
So it's the sacrifice. You know, David Ramsey, who has a book called Total Money Makeover, he states in his book, make the sacrifice now that you can have later. And I think they read that book and really took it to the heart. And I mean, that really helped them financially too. So, and my dad ended up teaching a class about it. So I think it helped them and others to be debt free and just stick to a plan. Dating, as you said, I don't know. If we're talking timeline, I ain't saying we about to start doing financial plans like the first 3 weeks to a month.
Right.
That's kind of crazy.
Right.
But if we're talking like, let's say 8 months to a year, we see that it's really going somewhere seriously, then maybe. But we do know people who move in so fast in apartments with each other, and that just goes downhill from there. But then we also see people that it actually works in their favor too. So I mean, it's conversation, and again, it's application to me.
I really feel like the ones that it works for are transparent from the jump, and then they grow together in that financial realm. Mm-hmm. Like they grow with the knowledge of it, and because like it's just like you having a classmate. Like we graduated together, Michelina. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, we're always class of 05, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's like you have that relationship with that person. It's something more than just a friendship. So if y'all are growing, you know, financially within a relationship, like that's another layer of the layers that you was talking about.
Right.
That's another layer that you can cap on, and then I can see how that could be, you know, that can work out. But I can see how it could negatively spiral down, being that one person shuts down or one person feels that they may not, you know, have what it takes to come to the table, or they're not just open and transparent, and they kind of hold back. And when that hold back, it's like a domino effect. Because if you hold back, then I'm going to hold back. And then, you know, where is it going?
Right.
So, I mean, Michelina, like, right now, you know what you're looking for. So what does that financial, I guess, outlook look like, or financial resume look like when you're having that conversation dating? Like, do you have a 401k? Do you have any type of investments? You know, what is that? What is that?
Can I add the fact
go ahead.
Also entrepreneur now too? Mm-hmm. So what does that play a factor to? It's all that.
I'll address that first, and then I'll get into that portion.
Go ahead.
So, me just now becoming an entrepreneur with 2 different businesses, it's hard for me to initiate those conversations with somebody that I'm dating. One, because I can't really date that much right now. I got a lot going on. Mm-hmm. So I can't really answer your question entirely because I'm not that deep into it. I'm 3 months into it? So just in honesty, I don't really have a firm answer with, you know, for that. But when I'm looking for, or while I'm dating, that's not the first thing that's going to come to my mind is, you know, what does your financial resume look like?
Right. I'm just talking about throughout the relationship. What are some things that you're throwing out there that's like, you know, because you don't want to wait till it's late. Like a year later, you know, you want to kind of throw some things out there. And just like John said, some things come up. But even if they don't come up, you know, what are you saying to kind of, if you're like, okay, I can see a future with this person, where does that conversation, what's being said? As far as finances, like, are you asking? Because, I mean, everyone may not have a 401k, but they may have investments that can get a better return than that 401k.
Yeah. Well, I think if they have kids, it's a little bit easier for me to pry into that to kind of get a notion of where their head's at financially, or where they are financially, and then where their head's at for their finances in the future. Mm-hmm. And it's as simple as, you know, what kind of trust funds or what kind of bank accounts do you have open for your kids, or what do you feel like you can create to develop for your kids, to leave for your kids? And I guess I could also transition that into people that don't even have kids or whatnot. You know, what does your future really look like? And I'm not talking about, when I'm saying future, I'm not talking about your future, your personal future. I'm talking about your kids. And I have a kid, so that's something that I like to kind of hang my hat on, because that's where I'm at. And if I'm not creating something that my son can't take over and run with and have a future, a successful financial future with, then I don't feel like I've done anything. So if I'm asking a single man that doesn't have any kids, you know, what he's leaving behind, and he doesn't have nothing to say, I don't have nothing to do with you. If you're thinking about your future only right here, right now, they got nothing to do with you. And that's how I check the resume. I guess I just figured it out. Boom.
Hey, we appreciate that. You know, right here on Let's Talk Not Argue, where you figured that out. We appreciate that. We take that one to the heart. You feel me?
I thank y'all.
So, I posed the question. Yes, I posed the question on social media, and I was kind of surprised by, you know, what I got. But, you know, it is what it is, so I'll go ahead and really post. So, I asked the simple question of, do you blame a woman for marrying a successful man for money? Now, I did a poll. Everybody, and I showed the front part of the question.
Right.
Everybody was like, no, yeah, of course. Like, duh, we're going to date him. You know, we're going to date him because we want to make sure that we're good. I just waited. 92%. It was, matter of fact, it was about 130 people.
Okay.
92% of 130 people.
So this was men and women agreeing. Or this
it was mostly women, but there were some men in there too. Okay. Because I think they read the other one. So when I went back after the 92%, I said, so are you okay if he presents you with a prenup?
Right.
Oh, I got that. Oh, heck no. Like, no, that means you're thinking that this is going to fail and all this other stuff. So I really want to know, what are your takes on prenups?
They are necessary.
Oh,
they are necessary. Talk to me,
man, because you're one of the few. Well, some women, they were married that said that, but then there was a few single women that said, but they were also entrepreneurs. So I kind of, yeah.
They are necessary. Not even if you're an entrepreneur. If you have 401ks, if you have a car in your name, if you have anything in your, you know, that's yours. That's something that you know. Of course, you're going to share that with your significant other, but that's yours. You know, going back to contractual agreements, I think that when it comes down to marriage, you have to separate. You have to separate the finance from the emotional when it comes down to marriage. And no, you don't go into your prenuptial agreement or come up thinking about your prenuptial agreement the week before. This is something that y'all have already had a whole conversation about, and throughout the marriage, you know what, you know, once you sign that line, hey, I'm married to this person. If we get divorced, it's white and black. There's no gray area if anything were to go sideways, and the divorce rate is through the roof. Not saying that, you know, I'm signing a prenup knowing or thinking that this is going to go sideways or anything like that, but you got to protect yourself first and foremost. And then if you have kids like myself, I'm signing a damn prenup because I have to protect my child's future. It has nothing to do with our love or any. I love you to death, and I'm going to love you to the moon and back times infinity, but you're not going to take anything from my child, and I'm going to make sure that you're not.
So how are they taking anything from the child?
Well, because you're securing your assets. When you go into prenups, you're agreeing on what exactly happens when you get divorced. And a lot of people, if you're not signing a prenup and you have all these, you know, certain businesses put under your name, not underneath your child's name, and they get a portion of that business, you're taking away from your future.
Right.
Your child.
Right. So if you're in a marriage and they've helped you or they supported you by, I don't know, moral support, do you feel like that? So you feel like that's not enough to get?
It's two separate things.
Right, but a lot of people who are against prenups, they're like, well, I've helped you throughout your success because of the moral support.
Right. The thing is, people get into situations because they think somebody's going to help them. Look, we're helping
straight
each
up.
other.
That was a word. That was a word right there.
Say it one more time.
That was a word.
Say it one more time. That was a word.
Y'all heard me.
No, say it one more time.
People get with people. I don't know how to word it, but people get with people thinking that person is going to help them. It's for selfish gain. It's selfish, and I don't agree with it. I know that when I'm with somebody and when I decide to marry somebody, we're with it because we're helping each other. You know what I'm saying? And if shit goes sideways and we get a divorce, then we already have an agreement right there because we've already built, hopefully by that time, we've already built something together. And then once we get married, we're just going to keep, reinventing ourselves and reinventing whatever our thoughts are, our creative, manifestations. But we'll already have something intact so that if anything goes sideways, we're both going to be good. I don't want anybody to be, going up shit's creek without a paddle, by no means, for women.
But if it's a nasty divorce, then, hey, you on your own, I'm on my
Right, and you don't want that, you know what I'm saying? If it's a nasty divorce, at least the paper gonna be straight between everybody. Go ahead and figure out you now that the paper's figured out already up front,
right.
Then you have enough time to get all that emotional stress, deal with it accordingly, and you're not worried about, oh, you get this part of the accident, oh no, I did this, oh, I helped you, oh, I held your hand, or you were just laying on your back doing nothing. No, it's in black and white. I'm gonna sit here and cry in a corner because I feel like a failure and I got a divorce. So let me go figure this out. I'm not gonna figure my money straight though.
Right.
Money straight.
Boy, hey.
That's real though.
That was real. That was a surprise. That was a surprise because a lot of
I felt she was gonna be on the
I did. Look, I did.
I think a lot of people did.
From the just from the conversation, man. I kind of felt it, but I was like, oh, let me see if she's gonna pull the trigger, and she definitely did. So what about you, Jay?
I'm kind of the same boat. I went a couple of months ago to my parents were getting their will. They had their will done for years, but they was like updating it. So I finally went with them, and I talked to the lady who was helping them. She was young. She probably like mid-30s, and she's like, "Yo, you should definitely get a prenup." And so I'm asking her questions, and she's like giving me the ins and the outs, the goods and the goods. There was really no bads. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, and it made complete sense to me at least. She was like, everything that you and your parents, your family has built, and that's all she had to say to me.
Right.
That's all she had to say to me, because what we have built together, some know me, some don't. You know what I'm saying? But we've been doing this.
Right,
for a
minute.
There ain't no way you come and say, I hope you do this.
Yeah.
Like, we've been doing this for a good minute. So, anything after that, sure. But anything before is like, nah. Like, paperwork. Because
we want prenup.
I don't want prenup. What they work hard for, I don't want that to ever go down the wrong way ever. So, if anything, I'm protecting what they built and everything I put on top of that, too. So
that's key, because
it's legacy.
If you have that legacy clause and you're already you're inheriting, some assets, then I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
For me in my situation, like me and my fiance had a talk when we dated. She was against it, and I said, well, if we're at, and then so we had to talk about it. And then I said, well, if we're at a certain level, where we had, individually we got to a certain level, and we put a number out there and said, okay, well, if we're over that, then we can have that conversation. But if we're not, then, of course, as a non-prenuptial, union, then, okay, what is it? And then we talked about our finances. We talked about, whether we're going to have joint accounts and personal accounts or both. We talked about those things. So, a lot of people don't get so thrown off on the prenups. Like, there are a lot of stipulations, that come with it, and it's an agreement. Like, you can make up whatever you want in this prenup, and then just make sure that you can read and read thoroughly and have a team of lawyers that can read it too. Because just in case it's one of them SAT words that you do not know, just know that your lawyer will go ahead and handle that, man. Right. So, yeah, so it's really to each his own. I really wanted to kind of see what everybody was saying, and there was clearly a double standard with the women in my that follow me, you know, on social media.
Do you think it's because it's the lack of knowledge of what a prenup is?
I really do. Yeah, I think it's more so what they see,
of course,
and what they hear of what a prenup is, except for you know their actual exactly. And you see the worst. Yeah, you see the worst of things. But man, look, I appreciate you guys coming in, man, and rocking out with me, and going into this money matter situation, because you guys helped a lot of people that are listening, and the playback will be live. The Tuesday replay will be live tomorrow. You'll be able to catch this episode of Let's Talk Not Argue Money Matters. So, what are you guys doing right now? Go ahead and put your club out. You know, say what you got going on, and yeah, how do people can reach out to you?
Yeah, I'll go first because you got a whole string.
I do. It's a whole string, but I'm about to go.
So I just finally got my name over the LLC line.
Woo!
So
Nice.
Mother Juice. It is spelled MOTHERJOOSE on Instagram. And basically, what I'm going to be doing is organic cold pressed juices. Delivered to local Atlanta areas. So stay tuned for that. Health and wellness is a really big part of my life, so I just wanted to bring the garden to your door. And then I also do, like I said earlier, I do IT recruitment consulting. I won't expand on that because it's pretty boring, and I'll just keep that for my little geeky self.
Okay. How can they follow you?
You can follow me at Michelina. And that's MICHALINA8732. Just turned it. On Instagram. And then also Mother Juice. Follow Mother Juice so you get your health tips and see when I go live and can deliver to your door.
Spell the juice one more time.
It's MOTHERJOOSE. Like Mother Goose.
There it is.
Obey your mother.
There it is. There it is.
Obey your mother.
I'm your mother.
Facts. All right, Jay, what you got, bro?
All right.
You better, because you're on a time limit.
Nah, what we got? All right, personal, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Mr. And I Thank You. That's MRANDITHANKYOU. Clutch the Brand, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. My life coaching is adversitylife.com. Twitter is Life Adversity. Instagram is Adversity Life. So I'll have so many ways to find me.
Right. And
you can find me in the streets.
We definitely gonna holler at Mother Juice. We gonna holler at Mother Juice, man, and get some of that. And I'm waiting on that restock because y'all sold out so quick. I'm waiting on that restock of that Unfamiliar Luxury.
Everything.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get that. Y'all gonna catch me every Monday. Y'all gonna see me with that Unfamiliar Luxury shirt on, man. Shout out to my Clutch boys, man.
Sure.
Gang all day. Well, once again, man, I really appreciate you guys for coming in. I thank all the listeners who downloaded the app and who listen live on the website, man. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys.
Mama and my pop.
Go ahead, bro.
They was watching. Go
ahead. Shout out. What's up, Mom, Pops? What's up? What's going on with y'all? They call me Millionaire Mike, and I'm claiming it every single day.
Yeah.
I'm claiming it every single day, man. But once again, I really hope that everyone gains so much insight into this topic, this money matters topic, man. And, catch me live each and every Monday right here, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on 106liveradio.com. If you have any topics, please follow me on social media. That's StewMichaels, where you can go ahead and just send me a DM, shoot me something that you want to hear, and we'll go ahead and bring it to life. So